Hi everyone, and welcome to What's New in Vectorworks 2011. Building further on the Parasolid modeling engine, we've got some really incredible features this year that'll make your 2D drafting and 3D modeling even more accurate. Improvements and additions that continue to make Vectorworks software flexible, versatile, intuitive, and smart. The development team has worked really hard this year at integrating 2D and 3D, and the results are just fantastic. One of the first things you'll notice is there's only one selection tool. All of the functionality of the old 2D selection tool and the 3D tool have been combined into one. Looking at this image of a wristwatch, for example, notice when we go to an isometric view that all hatches, text, dimensions, gradients, and solids can all be displayed in 3D. But wait, there's more, much more. Last year we emphasized the use of working planes, so let's take a look at how our new 2D, 3D environment responds to working planes. Here we'll set up a working plane from a 3D object, and next we'll place all the planar objects on the working plane. And here we can see the result of several working planes being used to create this image. Like I said, notice how text, dimensions, solids, and gradients all respond. Just imagine the possibilities. Oh, I forgot to mention planar images. We included them as well. Here, check this out. Okay, so let's see another application for all this. Here's a sunshade system that was modeled utilizing the concepts of working planes to establish many of the surfaces. We then extracted a couple of planar views and set those on a series of working planes, similar to the images of the wristwatch. We then added some further embellishment, like dimensions, to better explain the shade system. Like I mentioned, we use planar views to help explain the shade system. Well, here's an improvement to the Extract tool that'll make developing these views even easier. Create Planar Objects has been added in the Preferences dialog. Notice also how the entire face becomes highlighted upon selection. This should result in fewer mistakes when choosing a surface. And now, once that surface has been created, watch this. Oh yeah, we can hatch the surface. And now here's another tool that's going to get a real workout, the Push-Pull tool. We've renamed the Protrusion tool to reflect the new ease of use of this new improved feature. So let's take a closer look. Zooming in on the rotating mechanism, let's see how the symbol might be made. From the 2D geometry, it's easy to pick faces and pull them out to the required thickness. You can do this on the fly like we're doing here, or you can use the heads-up display to do it accurately. Also notice the highlighting of the face that I spoke about earlier. Makes it easy to grab the correct surface. The shade system also has some support brackets that need a little work. These are drawn as symbols as well, so we'll need to do a little editing within the symbol. No problem. First we'll establish a working plane on one of the main faces of the bracket. Notice how we can draw the circle directly on the face in this arbitrary 3D view. Pretty cool. We'll then use the third mode of the Push-Pull tool to create a couple of lightning holes in the bracket. And there you have it. Moving on to some 2D elements, here we have the Even Divide command. Found under the Modify menu, you'll be able to divide and conquer effortlessly. Just select an object, initiate the command, specify how many subdivisions are required, and off you go. This tool works on arcs, circles, lines, and rectangles. And here's the Line from Center command. For those of you who may want to start your projects in 2D, here's a feature that's really going to speed up your workflow. There's a new mode in the Line tool allowing you to choose from the center. Additionally, you can use the heads-up display to input the exact length of the line. And another tool you'll want to incorporate into your arsenal of 2D tools, it's called the Scaled Line Creation command. Giving even more power to the line tool, similar to a pantograph, This feature allows you to effortlessly enlarge or reduce any line by a given scale factor. Next, we have the Triangle tool. Located in the Basic tool palette, you'll be able to choose from 3 methods to quickly define how you want to draw a triangle, either from the length of its sides, or from an angle and 2 sides, or 2 angles and a side. And now here's a tool that'll really increase your efficiency when laying out evenly spaced lines. It's the Create Dividing Lines command. Under the Modify menu, just select the tool to activate it, choose 2 limiting lines where you want your divisions to occur between, and then the number of divisions required, and there you go. Notice how in this portion of the illustration, we're showing it in a radial pattern. Hey, that's pretty cool. Let's see it again. Pick the lines, indicate how many divisions, and voila. Notice how you get reference lines that help you determine the length of the individual line segments. So let's tidy up a bit here, and we'll show you the tool in a linear mode. Very similar in function. Choose 2 bounding or limiting lines. You'll get those helpful guidelines, and then pick how many divisions you want. Hey, that's a real time saver, pun intended. Okay, moving on to the Select Connected Objects command. Here's a tool with a really broad range of uses, from basic objects and patterns to architecture and on into landscape as well. Most of us have suffered through importing a drawing only to find it's comprised of a bunch of individual lines. After picking a zillion or 2, we're finally able to get back to work. Well, not anymore. Now it's a simple mouse click. Just pick a line, activate the command, and there you go. All the lines that touch are highlighted, waiting for you to compose them into a polygon. Hey, now that's fast. And now let's look at some improvements to the resource browser. Here's a shortcut that'll end a lot of that, hey, where's my library component feeling? Now access is located right in the resource browser for both the main Vectorworks libraries and your user-defined library. Now a bit on sorting. Number-aware string sorting. Now your numeric sorts will appear as expected and are consistent throughout the program. From classes to layers to viewports to worksheets. No more having to force worksheets to sort correctly. So let's look at some of the DXF DWG improvements for 2011. The first couple of items give you the ability to import and export arc length dimensions, as well as being able to save your settings for a more consistent import of your DWG information. The next 2 items will increase usability and making dealing with hatches even faster. And the last item will give you the option of binding the design layer viewport into the master file or leaving it as a standalone file. Okay, so now let's talk about text. We've improved our text editor in a number of ways. First, if you have a set of drawings with inconsistent font size and style, now you can clean this up very quickly. You'll be able to change and update fonts as easily as symbols. In fact, the solution is very similar to the concept of symbols, with the introduction of a new type of resource called text style. You'll manage your font sizes, styles, and colors and name them as a discrete text style, which can then be saved in the resource browser. To use this feature, either select a text style from the Object Info palette or simply drag and drop a text style onto a text block in your drawing. Now let's apply a text style to the headers of our notes sheet. Just select the headers along the top and go to the Object Info palette and select the text style you created for your headers. And there you have it. Editing a text style is also quick and easy. Remember, text styles behave like symbols. So once you've changed the color and size, for example, all the text updates to the new text style. Also note that text styles can be applied to other text objects like viewport annotations and drawing borders. An additional text editing feature is Perfect Preview Text Editing. We're taking the guesswork out of your work. With the perfect preview option, you'll see exactly how the text will be drawn and printed after you're done editing and before you print. And here's yet another solution for a long-time wish list item. You can now fully justify your text. Just select that option from the pull-down in the Object Info palette, and you're done. Another performance improvement is symbol drawing speedup. Now, for 2011, your repeated symbols will load faster. In fact, this operation's so quick, it's almost instantaneous. Now here's one that's sure to please, scalable symbols. And here's how to use it. We'll go to this first floor plan and pull out a couple of symbols from the resource browser. In this case, a couple of area rugs. Selecting one in the drawing will apply a scale factor to it. Notice how the original symbol is unchanged. We can also rescale symbols on the fly. Once again, notice how the original symbol remains unchanged. But let's say we want to change the original symbol. No problem. Edit as usual, and all the symbol instances associated with that original symbol, regardless of size, will update. Oh, now that's pretty cool indeed. So we saved one of the best for last. As you probably know, Renderworks in 2010 allowed you to produce some very nice renderings, as you can see. But many of you asked for more. You asked for faster rendering capabilities. You asked for higher quality, more realistic images. And you wondered if it could be easier to use. And so we thought, why not? So after hearing your requests, we didn't just improve the old rendering capabilities. We started from scratch with a whole new rendering engine. Cinema 4D. Now Renderworks is better than even we thought it could be. Here, watch this. The speed is obviously there. In this case, it's about 5 to 7 times faster. And the quality, yes, that's there too. And you'll be duly impressed and surprised at the improved control of both shaders and light, making the addition of the Cinema 4D rendering engine a must-have feature. As I said earlier, and I'm sure you'll agree, the development team has been hard at work this year, and it shows. Vectorworks 2011 is loaded with some really exciting new tools and features that are sure to make your modeling experience easier than ever.